Yeah, my name's Dr. Dean Allen. I'm the author of the book. Well, it's probably a story that exemplifies his personality. So I've taught at universities around the world, and I've recently become an author of books. And I was sitting there at home in Cape Town, and I got a phone call out of the blue, and it went like this. "Hello, is that Dean Allen?" I said, yes. He said, "I've been following your journey for a number of years now, but he said, I've had enough. You write too much about the Western Cape." He said, "It's about time you come to the Eastern Cape." I thought, what a rude man. It was Adrian Gardner, of course. He asked me to get in my car with my family and come to the Eastern Cape, and that changed my life. And would you believe he actually offered me the job of writing his book, or suggested it, live on national radio. He was being interviewed on Algoa FM, a local radio station here, and he said, live on the breakfast show, and I've got Dean Allen here, and he's going to write my book. So that's how I got the job. So typical of Adrian, but little did I know he saw something in me. He realized perhaps, or recognized, that I was the man to write this story, and I'm proud to launch this book here with him today. Well, the man that changed the landscape. The title of any author of a book will know that the title is an important part of it. In fact, I was running along the beach there in Port Elizabeth. I moved to Quebec, Port Elizabeth, at the start of this process. I had to, because I was going to interview over 60 or 70 people for this book, and obviously do my research into the wildlife reserves, etc. And I was running along the beach one day, and I realized that this was a story not just about a man, but this was a bigger story. It was about business, it was about entrepreneurship, it was about opportunity, but it was also about our planet. The fact that Adrian Gardner was instrumental in changing a landscape here in the Eastern Cape. He created Shamwari Game Reserve, arguably the most influential international game reserve in South Africa, but certainly in this region, and did physically change a landscape, but he also changes the way people think. He doesn't take no for an answer, for example. He doesn't believe in the word can't. He is a very pragmatic man. He's very charismatic, but he's very good at marketing as well. So with endorsements, he created a destination. So when that inspirational moment on the beach came as I was running that day, I thought, yes, it fits, because it really does encompass this story, which is about more than Adrian. It's about a region, it's about South Africa, it's about the potential of what can happen in this part of the world. Well, the book will be available in a lot of the independent bookshops around the country, but predominantly it's really easy to buy it online. It's available via Shopify here in South Africa, so people can just click a link, order the book, and it'll be posted out, and I believe you're going to share that link. Well, apart from the actual job offer itself, Adrian is a very pragmatic man. He can be difficult at times, as a lot of successful people are. I appreciate the fact that he is brave enough, I think, once I realized that he would be brave enough for his story to be told through the eyes of others. So it was that moment when I explained to him, listen, Adrian, you're not going to get a book overnight. If you want me to write this book and tell your story and to give it the gravitas that this story deserves, it's going to take a number of years, and it did nearly take 3 years. So Adrian, being a man of great impatience, and he wants everything done, I think it was the moment when we sat down and we had that clearing of the air where I explained to him, if you want this story told, you've got to give me the time. So I took probably the first year researching and investigating and speaking to people on all parts of his life. And it was then that I realized that this was a bigger story. We're in a part of South Africa, part of the planet, where they're going to rewild large parts of our landscape here. And Adrian was instrumental in that. So I think it was the moment between us when he realized that this book was going to go to a depth that even he didn't realize. And it is a warts and all story. I mean, there was a man that didn't have just success in his life. I think it's inspirational because he overcome those challenges. And I believe it could also be used as a textbook for future business leaders, for entrepreneurs. He's regarded as a serial entrepreneur, for example. And really, if you look at the definition in the textbooks, that's Adrian Gardner for you. So I think his example and what he's done should be an inspiration for not only the next generation here in South Africa, but around the world, because we have seen one man's actions and his beliefs can encompass and bring in others behind this journey that he's been on, and he can literally change a landscape. Or the people that visit South Africa, and South Africans themselves, maybe not themselves, don't realize until you come here what a special place this is. I'm a historian. So when I arrived in the mid-90s, I went to Stellenbosch University. Anybody will know that's a very Afrikaans university. Englishmen weren't common there around that time. But I was born in a country district in England, in Somerset, the county, and I came here. By good fortune, I'd met somebody and she brought me here. but I found my tribe, I found my place. For the first time in my life, people were interested in what I had to say. I wasn't used to that. In England, we've got 70 million people now. They tend to talk at you, whereas now people wanted to have my opinion. We've been isolated through apartheid for generations. Now, all of a sudden, I felt like I could make a difference. We all want to make a difference, don't we? So this was my place. But I respected the history and the people enough to listen, but also to read about the history. So the country embraced me. I think because it embraced my spirit and the fact that I was willing to listen and understand. And now I go around the world, I speak at corporate events, I speak on cruise ships, I speak to incredibly influential and wealthy people about the beauty and the opportunity in this country. As I said, I identify with the sport, I identify with the people, I identify with the Ubuntu of our people. I'm a Springbok supporter, even against England, so that will tell you everything. This is my country, I identify with it. But I believe in its potential. Like Adrian Gardner, other places have problems. We have our problems, but I think sometimes as South Africans, we tend to think we're the only ones with problems. This is a country with so much potential, but for me, it's the people. And that's when I regard this as my country and our country. I'm very active on social media. I've got a social media following of nearly 200,000 now, would you believe? So it's growing. Dr. Dean Allen, author, speaker, historian is my Facebook page. Dr. Dean Allen on Instagram and TikTok and LinkedIn and those kind of things. So please follow this journey. I tend to take people with me wherever I am. And remember, I'm speaking around the world, but I'm predominantly speaking about South Africa, its potential, and the great opportunity we've got. So please do follow my journey. Adrian, at his age, also appreciates the power of technology. He's an absolute joy to work with because he's a marketer. He understands that it's all about promoting our region, and he does so with such passion and pride. I'm a little bit like him, and I'm proud to have written this book and to share this journey with the rest of the world.